Guys, welcome in here to Rover Sports. Hope everybody is having a pretty good evening tonight. I wanted to discuss the Giants quarterbacking situation, and I wanted to do it in about 8 minutes or less. I know this topic can be repetitive for a lot of people. I'm not even going to mention the two words Eli Manning. I will talk about Dwayne Haskins. He's certainly an option. Drew Lock is a possibility. I'll analyze our first round pick at number 6, and I'll also talk about Joshua Rosen. It'll probably be around 10 or 12 minutes. So without any further ado, let's get it started. When I look at the New York Giants and what they're slated upon doing, I look at the 3 quarterback options and I'll list the positives and negatives of each one, and then you guys can decide which one you are going to choose, and at the end I will pick which one I'm going to choose. So for a second round price, the New York Giants can trade for Josh Rosen for a second round price. Probably pick number 36, like the 6th pick of the second round. So if the New York Giants are going to trade a second rounder for Rosen, what you are getting is a quarterback that in college has good arm strength, very good release point, bigger hands than Drew Lock, throws a very nice football. The problem with Josh Rosen at times in Arizona is that he did not anticipate with his throws. He oftentimes gets sacked a lot. He is not great at actually leading receivers. Josh Rosen's strengths are that when he has a clean pocket, he is smart enough to play the game of football, and his stroke is the best stroke out of all 3 guys. His deep ball is better than all 3 quarterbacks. It's right up there with Locke. I mean, the deep balls are all very comparable between the 3 quarterbacks. The leadership I'd mark below both of these quarterbacks. I mean, Josh Rosen has a track record. Not a lot of people really get along with Josh Rosen, so his leadership is definitely beneath the other 2 guys. But when you look at Rosen, what does he do well on a football field? What does Josh Rosen do well? What is Josh Rosen's strengths? What does he do well? Josh Rosen is able to have good footwork. He gets ready, he gets set, he gets ready to throw the football. He is able to see. He has a very good throwing motion. The ball, when he picks a target to throw, he throws it very accurately and with very good velocity when he has that target. But for Josh Rosen, the game has never been simplified. He's never dominated at the college or the NFL level. Now, the benefit of taking Josh Rosen, if I were to evaluate these prospects, I was underwhelmed by Josh Rosen last year. You can point to his offensive line, but I thought Josh Rosen would be a very, very good quarterback in the NFL, and he still has the potential to do that. Now, he got off to a horrible start. His confidence is not very good, and he will need to learn the Giants' offense. The price of Josh Rosen being a second-round pick is a lot better than taking maybe a first-round pick at number 6. So that's Josh Rosen. Accurate, incredibly good throwing motion, great mechanics, looks really good, but the production's not there. Not great at anticipating with throwing the ball quickly, not good at getting it out of his hands. His leadership is a big question mark. Some of the teammates think that he's arrogant. Not the easiest guy to get along with, a little Rodgers-esque in personality checks from high school and collegiate coaches. Let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins, big quarterback, 6'4", 6'5", confident, but he might not be cocky. I think he's very, very confident, maybe even more confident for my taste, but I look at Haskins and quiet kid. Interesting personality, quiet, definitely has some swag from the quarterback position. and that would need to be researched a lot. Very interesting kid, and I think he seems like a nice kid. In terms of the way that he throws the football, very good throws. Very confident, plays great in big games, has unbelievable production against the best on his schedule. Only played 1 year of football. 1 year of football. Does not extend and get to second level reads as much as you would like. Unable to really extend and leave the pocket when necessary. Mostly a pocket passer, excels in hitting crossing route, excels at hitting balls deep down the middle. A guy that can throw to each layer of the field, and a guy that's only played for 1 year. You don't know his personality that well. He hasn't been in the limelight a very long time. He is pretty much a rookie quarterback. It's almost like Mitchell Trubisky, except Trubisky was more of an athlete than Dwayne Haskins. But Dwayne Haskins, very good pocket passer, pretty good leadership, but again, we don't know a lot about this kid. We don't. We've only seen Dwayne Haskins play for 1 year, so personality-wise, we don't know anything about him. He played at Ohio State, very good athletes, so that could be a knock against him if you wanted to look at the cons. The cons of Haskins are 1 year, didn't face a lot of interior pressure, and with Haskins, it was just 1 season, and we don't know about his leadership qualities. We don't know when adversity strikes what will happen with Haskins. So all of that is a very unknown. He's only played for 1 season of football. He's like a Mitchell Trubisky. He has only been on campus for a very short amount of time. Nobody knew about him as a freshman or as a sophomore quarterback. Was barely asked for any media availability whatsoever. Number 3 is Drew Lock. This guy has elite level arm strength, a guy that will pop off the page, but a guy that goes in and out of ball games. But let's talk about the good. The leadership, the composure, the swag on the sideline. He does have swag, a little bit of a quiet confidence, doesn't love the limelight, but a guy that is really in the foxhole with his teammates. And my personal favorite from a personality standpoint out of these 3 quarterbacks. Drew Lock, big-time back shoulder thrower, throws kind of a little bit sidearm, but throws with elite power, elite velocity, and a guy that has tremendous touch when necessary. Can escape the pocket, can make off-platform throws, has the highest upside out of any of these quarterbacks. However, doesn't play big in the biggest of games, doesn't command the respect. Haskins beats Lock in terms of big game production, absolutely. Now, you could argue that if Drew Lock was at Ohio State, that Drew Lock would maybe fare better in big games. But there's a chance that sometimes Drew Lock looks nonchalant, and sometimes when he plays big games, it looks like he sometimes gives up. He looks bewildered, a little deer in the headlights syndrome, and I am a big Lock fan. So with that being said, the way that I'd look at these quarterbacks myself is that I look at Dwayne Haskins. He has a better personality than Josh Rosen, but the person that I am comfortable selecting is Drew Lock. 4-year starter. He dealt with the adversity of the hunger strike at Missouri for a long, long time. This kid is calm, is cool. I know what I'm getting. I know the type of kid that Drew Lock is. I've listened to countless interviews from his 4 years at Columbia, Missouri. Smart kid, nice kid, very, very humble, not in the social media at all. Drew Lock is going to be a guy that teammates are going to like. He's fun, but for the team. And I think that his personality, I think that people will find him great. I don't think he's a Jay Cutler-like guy that's all about himself. Drew Lock, from a personality standpoint, is my favorite player if I were the GM. That's very important when you're analyzing the quarterback position, is the intangibles is very, very key. It's important for all positions. It's critical. It is mandatory at the quarterback position. The second thing when I look at Locke is I see a guy who can make back shoulder throws. I see a guy that can also throw deep down the football field, a guy that'll throw it in the tight windows, and a guy that'll lead our team well. I see a quarterback that has the ability to go off platform, a guy who can be a play action passer with a lightning quick release, very quick release, even a quicker release than a Haskins, than a Josh Rosen. Drew Locke's release will help Pat Shurmur's offense the most, so Drew Lock would be my answer at the quarterback position. The other two guys I would not select at the quarterback position. Now, Dwayne Haskins coming in at number 6, he has a chance to be, though, a good quarterback. Saying that I wouldn't take Dwayne Haskins, my worries about Haskins are, as stated before, 1 year, do not know his personality that well, and do not know about his playing style. Too small of a sample size. With Rosen, Josh Rosen, don't love him as a teammate, and also Josh Rosen gets sacked a lot, not a lot of production in college. I would punt on that. So I'm looking right now at Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. I know Kyler Murray is not going to get to the Giants, so that's how I would look at this quarterback position and situation. Looking, though, at Dwayne Haskins as a prospect, I think Dwayne Haskins can still be incredibly, incredibly successful. I think he could still have a very good career. It is just a big, big risk to take Dwayne Haskins. It's a little bit like DeShone Kizer, who played a couple of years at Notre Dame and looked tremendous, and people thought he would be unbelievable. Now, in fairness to Dwayne Haskins, the coaches and teammates like Haskins a lot, but you're going to have to spend as much time with the kid to know as much as you can about this kid. And again, I just don't know enough about the guy to want him as the quarterback for the next 5 years. Here's the good news, Giants fans, is whether it's Drew Lock, whether it's Dwayne Haskins, whichever one of you guys gets what you want, whether it's Josh Rosen, just know that even though you're on the Giants roster, it's no reason to celebrate. Look at Odell Beckham. Look at Landon Collins. Look at Snacks Harrison. So even if Drew Lock or Dwayne Haskins is taken at 6, don't be surprised if Dave Gettleman tries to trade the pick immediately. My favorite player, Davis Webb, was under this regime, and they just dumped him to the scrap heap. So with Dave Gettleman, he doesn't play loyalty. He basically will cut you at any given time, at any given moment. So you have to have your head on a swivel. And if you're a Giants fan, you have to ride with what Gettleman says. Well, you don't have to necessarily, but if you are going to get excited about players, there's a good chance that that player that you like will be gone very soon, because Dave Gettleman, even though he values talent, there are always going to be teams and players that can persuade him from trading a player. Even Saquon Barkley, Dave Gettleman, you never know what the guy is going to do at any time. The other thing I'm going to tell you guys, because it's going to be an emotional process, this quarterbacking process, is once again, you can choose to be a fan of any NFL team. I still believe that I'm going to root for the New York Giants. I'm going to casually root for them to be successful. I do like the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. Those are two of the teams right now that I'm really leaning towards, that I really enjoy watching play the game of football. But the thing that I'm going to tell all you guys is that we can't control it. It's between Gettleman. It's between John Mara. We do have a voice. We certainly can post our opinions here, but once again, we have zero control over the outcome. It's a beautiful thing, because when it goes awry or it doesn't go as planned, we don't have to take the blame for this necessarily. I would like the responsibility. I really would like that responsibility, but we don't have that responsibility. So again, it's out of our hands completely during this process. And here's another thing I'm going to say about this number 6 pick that the Giants have. I believe we are right beyond the line. Unfortunately, we are looking in at the fence. They let 5 people into the gate, and we are the one left out. We're on the bubble, and we're the one team out, meaning I believe that this is a 5-player draft of elite level talent. I think that Kyler Murray as a quarterback, I'd rate way above Drew Lock and above Dwayne Haskins. I would. I think Kyler's the number one guy if Kyler was there. So Kyler Murray's elite. Then I look at the defensive players. I think there's 4 defensive players that are tremendous defensive players. You're going to have Quinnen Williams, Josh Allen, Nick Bosa, and Devin White. And I look at Devin White as a special linebacker, a guy that can cover sideline to sideline, and somebody that I believe is going to be a top 5 pick, and I believe Tampa Bay is going to take Devin White. So, unfortunately for the New York Football Giants, when you look at the defensive talent available, I don't think that there's any slam dunk guy at number 6 that is that impressive, especially when you look at Gary, Montez Sweat. These are big risks. Even Jawan Taylor. Who knows if Jawan Taylor is going to be that special of a tackle? Or is Andre Dillard going to be that special of a tackle? Then everybody is thrown in this second mix where they come with risk. I think that Bosa and White are elite, and certainly Allen and Williams are tremendous players. So I look at it as a 5-person draft, and then you look at your Ed Olivers, your Rashawn Garys of the world. So that's why if the Giants decide to go quarterback at 6, I kind of get it. Now, I hope it's Drew Lock. Drew Lock's my favorite player, and he is one of my favorite players to watch. I've known about Drew Lock from the first time that he took the field in Kansas City against BYU. I followed Locke. I followed Locke when he took over for Matty Mock, when Matty Mock had his issues. Okay, I saw Drew Lock as a freshman, and then the second year I was with Drew Lock when he went to West Virginia. I saw him play Georgia. I saw that explosive Heupel offense at its peak during his sophomore and junior years. It was incredible watching Lock play. So he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. So again, everybody, I think announcers and everybody's going to have a bias towards the position. I do like Locke, and I've argued for Locke on this panel of the show. But Dwayne Haskins can still have a very good career. He happens to play great in big games. He's a guy that can make layered throws all over the football field. He is quiet, and he is smart. So he has a great combination. His personality, I think, could fit in well. I think his personality has a chance to be really, really good in the NFL. And we will see. Again, with Dwayne Haskins, we will see about how he reacts to NFL defenses, how he reacts through adversity, and how he leads his team. Just too young for me to go on board. And also, I do like Locke. So, I'm sure that that's exactly what you guys were expecting. But again, with Dwayne Haskins as the quarterback, Dwayne Haskins can have a very, very successful NFL career. Pocket passer, elite to each part of the field, very good leader, calm and poised during the big moments. And he enjoys the spotlight and the big moments. And that is something that is incredibly impressive. So I'm not saying in any way that I think Haskins will be a failure. I think Haskins is better than Sam Darnold. I think Haskins is better than several guys. He's certainly better than Lamar Jackson, better than Winston, better than Marcus Mariota. I think Haskins is a pretty dang decent quarterback. He's probably better than Derek Carr. I would take him probably above Stafford in terms of his contract. I still think he could be very good. Drew Lock, great potential, great arm talent to each layer of the field, high level of production at Missouri, playing with decent receivers. That's a large reason why in that Alabama game he didn't have Emmanuel Hall. He sees to each level of the field. And also, Drew Lock has seen a lot of defenses. Been through adversity on and off the field, knows a 1-5 locker room, knows a 8-4 locker room, knows success and knows failure. And that's why Drew Lock is my pick for the New York Giants. So we will see what they do. Let's go, Drew Lock.